It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. It's the Ravens and Gang Green, next on Madden NFL 22.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. A few moments ago, the crowd here was on their feet as their beloved Jets made their way out of the tunnel. They're ready to go. We're ready to go. It should be a good one as those New York Jets get set to face off with the Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Gaud alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Ravens in this matchup. It's a relatively balanced offense. The next-gen stats kind of bear that out. What do you think they'll be looking to do in this one?
I think it'll be exactly what you just talked about. They'll want to be balanced on offense, which means to them, they'll want everyone involved. See if they can get some one-on-ones in the passing game. Maybe identify some situation where he can swing the ball to the backs in space. Even find some spots where you just want to play some old-fashioned power football. As one of the most successful coaches in the league told us once, the definition of balanced offense, that means you can do what you want when you want to, not necessarily just running it 50% of the time and throwing it the same percentage.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, and Zach Wilson.
And what was really attractive about Zach Wilson coming out of college, coming out of BYU, his ability to create and make plays when many people thought they didn't exist. But what's been even better is watch him improve in the pocket, able to hit the back foot, make the right read, and the right throws.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. He finds his man, complete. That's Wilson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll run on first down. It's Hall, and they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
On second down now, it's Hall. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Not the desired outcome, but probably won't be the last time we see him take a shot downfield.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start with the option. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation goes right out the window.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. But you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
Open man is Duvernay. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Back onto the field come the Jets for their second drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. And to give this time to the tailback. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
We gonna shut.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Braden Mann now as he's on to punt for New York. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
From the 24, Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
Jackson now off the bootleg. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. C.J. Mosley, the former Raven, in there on the tackle.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger gain.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Here's Jackson to throw. And he's unable to haul it in, so it falls incomplete over the middle 3rd of the field, and that brings up 4th.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This from 54 yards away. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Let's go!
Another drive coming up for New York's offense. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try and play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. On first down, Hall, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Wilson's throw complete there to Moore. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
To throw again is Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. But Charles, in the past, a lot of people call this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well, it was you. I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
Now Wilson on first down. A throw to the flat for Carter. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second and 2. The Wilson going to give to Carter on the draw. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. First red zone opportunity now for the Jets. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Wilson. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked by Kevon Seymour. And the Ravens will take over here at their own 14-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the hold on special teams backs them up all the way inside the 15 to start. Jackson on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to air one out. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
And this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
They're going option play on 3rd down. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout. And they will get to him behind the line, but they're out of timeouts, remember, and the clock continues to wind down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. The Jets have Braxton Berrios back deep. 35 yards that time on the punt. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Zach Wilson and the Jet offense set to take over here. I think this crowd not really sure what to make of things. Their guys have not looked very good. Their leader here at the top, he hasn't looked that great either.
And most of the time you hear guys talk about how they don't let the crowd affect them or they block it off. Well, that's not really fully true because a lot of the times you ride the wave of emotion with a crowd when it's positive for you. In this case, they've got to find a way to shake it off and at least get something done to maybe put the crowd back on their side.
Absolutely. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Justin Matabike. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Ravens. And even though they've got the lead, they're likely going over ways they can improve the running game, as they didn't find a whole lot of success in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Jets, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football, and they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. Ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Let's go!
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week on our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. An option handoff here to Dobbins. Gets past one man, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Let's go. Let's do this. Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside and catch the football out of the backfield, to be able to get him in the 2nd round? That's what I call a steal.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 60. The leg for this. This will approach territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get a few touchdowns here and there.
That'd be nice. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
They'll run on first down. Hall, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, a run with Carter.
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's the Jets punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
The Ravens ready to take over.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now it's Jackson.
That's into the hands of Crochet.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Jackson.
And that'll be complete to Dobbins.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and they'll bring up 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled. Not
1 second, not one bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage?
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore.
Let's go.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down. So, and he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Justin Madubuike picks up his second sack of the afternoon. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And the next-gen stat's going to show just how much time he had to make a decision, and it's not much. 3 seconds, the final clocking. And right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion forced there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He'll dump this off to Carter, complete.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on, you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now Wilson. And this will be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
The Jets on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing again here. Wilson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And we're definitely getting towards the point of the game where not getting a lot of yards is secondary to keeping the clock moving. I mean, to me, that's a double win defensively. Short gain and some more time off the clock.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a jet shaking up on the play. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Call it a loss of 2 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Well, if you're going to turn things around in a game like this, Charles, those are the kind of plays that you need.
And I just love the way that defense rallied to the football on that one. They got the completion, but he was smothered behind the line of scrimmage. And when you make tackles like that, your whole defense is going to be fired up. Really nice play getting to the ball.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Tucker's kick is good. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. So they settle for just the 3. But clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off. But they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26. So here is Wilson and the Jets. Down by 12. 1:52 to play. They've yet to score all game long, but now they need to do so twice in short order to have a shot. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Open man is Uzama. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
The clock still runs. We're at 90 seconds now. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll make it 3rd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield, and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. It would have been a first down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw, as this play will stand as is.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Here we go. Here we go.
The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. So they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough. But, yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.